Hi Year 4, this is Purple Group Math and this is the whole of your week 10 learning. So once you finish watching day 1, just make sure you pause the video before you're ready for day 2. So last week you did dividing by 3, 4 and 8, and this week you're going to be dividing 2-digit numbers, so it gets a little bit trickier, and today we're dividing 2-digit numbers by 2. So let's read our steps to success together. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to partition our number into tens and ones, okay? And what that means is break it up into tens and ones. So if we had, for example, 48, okay, that's made up of 4 tens and 8 ones, okay? And then you're going to divide the tens by 2, so you've got 40 divided by 2. Now you know that 4 divided by 2 is 2, so 40 divided by 2 is 20, okay? And then divide your ones by 2. So 8 ones divided by 2 is 4. Now you just need to add your answers together and you'll have your final answer. So 20 plus 4 is 24. So now we know how to do it. Let's do it with the first question on our paper. So on the right hand side here we've got 64 because we're doing 64 divided by 2. So let's partition that into our tens and ones. So 64 is 60, or 6 tens, and 4 ones, okay? So now we need to divide our tens by 2. So 60 divided by 2, just think of 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 60 divided by 2 is 30. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now 30 plus 2 is 32, okay? Let's go through one more example together. So again, we've got 86 divided by 2. So this time we're going to partition it into our tens and our ones. So 86 is 8 tens, or 80, and 6 ones. Then let's first divide our tens by 2. So 80 divided by 2, just think of 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 80 divided by 2 is 40. Okay, and then 6 divided by 2 is 3. All right, so then we do 40 plus 3 is 43. So 86 divided by 2 is 43. Moving on to day 2, and today you're still dividing 2-digit numbers, but you're dividing them by 3 today, okay? So again, we're going to partition our number into our tens and ones. For example, 66 is 60 plus 6. Divide your tens by 3. 60 divided by 3 is 20. Divide your ones by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then add the answers together, okay? So for our example on the sheet, number 1, we've got 33 divided by 3, okay? So firstly, we need to partition 33 into tens and ones. So that is 3 tens, or 30, and 3 ones. Then we need to divide our tens by 3. So 30 divided by 3, we should know that's 10. And then 3 divided by 3 is 1, okay? So then you do 10 plus 1 is 11. Let's go through one more example together. Here we have 99 divided by 3, okay? So let's partition our number into tens and ones. So in 99, you've got 9 tens and 9 ones, okay? So then divide our tens by 3. 90 divided by 3, just think of 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 90 divided by 3 is 30. And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. So then 30 plus 3 is 33. Moving on to day 3. Today you're still dividing using 2-digit numbers, and you're dividing them by 2 again today, but this time we've got some renaming, okay? So let me go through an example with you. Okay, so these problems involve numbers that you can't divide by 2 as easily, okay? So something like 20, you can look at that and divide it by 2 straight away, you know it's 10. But these numbers, they're not so easy to divide by 2, so we're not going to partition them into our tens and our ones. We're actually going to partition them into 2 numbers that we know we can divide by 2. So let's have a look at the steps to success. Partition your number into 2 numbers that you can divide by 2 in your head. For example, 34 would be 20 plus 14. You know that 20 divided by 2 is 10, and you know that 14 divided by 2 is 7. Okay, so it's much easier to work it out. So let's have a look at the first question. Got 32, okay? So we're not going to partition it into our tens and ones, we're going to partition it into two numbers that we know we can divide by 2. So 20 and 12, for example. Okay, so then 20 divided by 2, we know that's 10, and then 12 divided by 2, we know that's 6. Okay, so then we've got 10 plus 6 is 16. Moving on to another example, you've got 76 here. Okay, so two numbers that we know we can divide by 2. Okay, I know I can do 60 divided by 2 because I know that 6 divided by 2 is 3, so 60 divided by 2 would be 30. And then you've got 60 plus 16 is 76, okay? So 60 divided by 2 is 30, and then 16 divided by 2 is 8. So now you've got 30 plus 8 is 38. Moving on to day 4, and today we are again dividing two-digit numbers, but we're doing it by 3 today with our renaming. Okay, so again, we've got numbers today that if we partition it into our tens and ones, it's quite difficult because then we can't divide them by 3, okay? So we've got to partition it into two numbers that we know we can divide by 3. So for our first example, we've got 48, okay? So 48 can be broken down or partitioned into 30, because I know I can divide that by 3, and 18. I know I can divide 18 by 3. So 30 divided by 3, we know that's 10. And then 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, so if I count in my 3 times tables until I get to 18, I do it 6 times. Okay, so then 10 plus 6 is 16. Okay, let's go through one more example together. We've got 87. So the first thing we need to do is partition it into two numbers that we know we can divide by 3. For example, 60, I know I can divide 60 by 3 because I can divide 6 by 3 is 2, and then it's 10 times bigger, so 20. And then left over we have 27. Okay, I can divide 27 by 3. So 60 divided by 3 is 20. 27 divided by 3 is 9, because if I count in my 3 times tables, I have to count 9 times until I get to 27. So 20 plus 9 is 29, okay? Good luck with the rest of your learning this week.